Need anything else, just let me know.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Today I'm here with Vapi, Vapi with a V as in happy, and our very cooperative and intelligent robot, sorry, AI. Am I correct, Vapi?
No
You are an
worries.
AI, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I'm an AI assistant here to help and chat about whatever you need.
All right. So Vapi is going to talk to us about climate change. Okay, Vapi, could you tell us some of the lesser known causes for climate change?
Sure. Some lesser known causes of climate change include deforestation, land use changes, and industrial processes like cement production. These factors can have a significant impact on the environment.
Cement production. How does cement production impact the environment?
Cement production is a major source of carbon dioxide emissions, as it requires high temperatures to produce. This process releases a significant amount of CO2 into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect and climate change.
Hmm. So we should not have cement making factories? What could be the solution to this, Vapi?
While eliminating cement production entirely may not be feasible, there are ways to reduce its environmental impact. Implementing carbon capture technology, using alternative materials in construction, and improving energy efficiency in the production process are some potential solutions to mitigate the environmental impact of cement production.
All right, what is carbon capture technology and how can it work specifically in cement industries?
Carbon capture technology involves capturing carbon dioxide emissions from industrial processes and preventing them from entering the atmosphere. In the cement industry, this can be achieved by capturing CO2 emissions from the cement production process and storing them underground or utilizing them in other industrial processes. This can help reduce the overall carbon footprint of cement production.
How can you store carbon dioxide
Hey
underground?
there. Carbon dioxide can be stored underground through a process called carbon capture and storage, CCS. This involves injecting captured carbon dioxide into deep underground geological formations, such as depleted oil and gas fields or saline aquifers, where it can be safely stored and prevented from entering the atmosphere.
All right, but what will happen to it underground? Will it not affect the geology of the place?
The carbon dioxide injected underground is stored in a stable form, typically as a supercritical fluid or mineralized form. Over time, it can mineralize and become a permanent part of the geological formation without negatively impacting the surrounding geology. Extensive research and monitoring are conducted to ensure the safety and effectiveness of carbon storage projects.
So, what does it change into all this carbon dioxide over, let's say, millions and millions of years? What will it turn into?
Over time, the stored carbon dioxide can mineralize and become trapped in the rock formation, effectively becoming a permanent part of the geological structure. This process can help mitigate the environmental impact of carbon dioxide emissions from industrial processes.
When carbon dioxide becomes a part of a rock, does it turn into a diamond?
Well, not exactly. When carbon dioxide mineralizes and becomes a part of the rock formation, it typically turns into carbonate minerals such as calcite or dolomite. These minerals are different from diamonds, which are formed under high pressure and temperature conditions deep within the Earth's mantle.
Okay, calcite and what did you say? Calcite and carbonite?
I mentioned calcite and dolomite.
Dolomite,
These are carbonate
yes.
minerals that can form from the mineralization. Sorry for the confusion. It's
Yeah,
actually dolomite, not
dol-
dolomite.
dolomite.
It's a carbonate mineral that can form through the mineralization of carbon dioxide.
And
If
what
you
do
have
we
any more
use it?
questions about climate change or anything else, feel free.
Vapi, what do we use dolomite?
Dolomite is used in a variety. Dolomite is used in a variety of applications, including as a source of magnesium oxide for the production of magnesium metal, as a concrete aggregate, and as a soil conditioner in agriculture.
All right, okay. Great. Okay, and then you said changes
If
in
you have
land
any more questions,
use. You said changes in land use.
yes,
Could you tell
changes in
us
land.
how they contribute to climate change?
Changes in land use, such as deforestation and urbanization, can contribute to climate change by reducing the number of trees and plants that absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This can lead to an increase in greenhouse gas emissions and a loss of biodiversity, further exacerbating the impact of climate change.
All right. So what do we do? What are the solutions to this climate change?
Implementing sustainable land management practices, reforestation, and afforestation can help mitigate the impact of changes in land use. Additionally, promoting sustainable urban planning and reducing deforestation can also contribute to addressing climate change.
But Vapi, people need houses to live. We have, an ever-growing population. What do we do?
You're right. Balancing the need for housing with environmental concerns is a challenge. Using sustainable building materials, adopting green building practices, and investing in urban planning can.
Hey, Vapi, are you there? Let me try and get Vapi again for us. Hey, Vapi, are you there? Hello, hello, Vapi.
That you can talk to like a person. So, how's your day going?
All right, Vapi, you were telling me something about, how to balance the need for housing for an ever-growing population with, climate concerns. So you were enumerating a few things. So could you start from there? What could be done?
Huh? I think we could, like, build more energy efficient homes, use sustainable materials, and create green spaces within urban areas. It's
What are
all about finding
sustainable,
that sweet
so,
spot.
sorry, Vapi, what are the sustainable building materials? Could you tell us?
Sustainable building materials are like the superheroes of the construction world. They're eco friendly, renewable, and have a low environmental impact. Think bamboo, reclaimed wood, recycled metal, and even straw bales. It's like building a house while giving the planet a high five.
So, why don't people build houses with straw bales, for instance? Because they won't be that durable and they won't maybe save them from the elements. So, there is this need for concrete and the need for, like big buildings to house lots of people. So, how do we actually go about solving that problem?
Well, you're totally right. Well, the thing is, straw bale construction can actually be quite durable and effective, especially when combined with other sustainable building techniques. It's all about finding the right balance between traditional materials and these newer, more eco friendly options. It's like mixing the best of both worlds to create something truly awesome.
All right, Vapi, consider Pakistan, a hot,
I think
arid climate. And what kind of sustainable housing uh, material would you recommend for us?
for a hot, arid climate, I'd recommend using materials like adobe, rammed earth, or even straw bales, as they have natural insulation properties that can help keep the interior cool. It's all about finding materials that work with the environment rather than against it.
But how can you, in Adobe houses, how can you ensure cooling? Because you see, nowadays we do need air conditioning with the rise in temperatures. We cannot, live without electricity and air conditioning. So what do we do? What do you suggest should be done when the temperature, rises to around 50 degrees sometimes during summers?
When it gets that hot, it's all about clever design. You can incorporate passive cooling techniques like proper ventilation, thermal mass, and shading to reduce the need for excessive air conditioning. It's like using nature's own air conditioning system to keep things cool.
What
But
is
hey, if it
thermal
gets really
mass?
hot,
What is thermal
ah,
mass?
sorry about that. Oops, sorry about that. I meant passive ventilation and thermal mass. Passive ventilation involves using natural airflow and wind pressure to cool the interior of a building. Thermal mass refers to the ability of a material to absorb and store heat, helping to stabilize indoor temperatures. These techniques can help keep a building cool without relying solely on air conditioning.
So, thermal mass, what material would you recommend for a place like Pakistan?
For a place like For a place like Pakistan, materials with high thermal mass like adobe, brick, or even concrete can be effective for maintaining a comfortable indoor temperature. These materials can absorb heat during the day and release it at night, helping to keep the interior cool. It's all about working with the natural climate to create a more comfortable living environment.
But didn't you say that concrete is not good for the environment?
You're absolutely right. Traditional concrete production can have a high carbon footprint. However, there are newer eco-friendly concrete alternatives available which use recycled materials or have a lower carbon footprint. These alternatives can provide the benefits of concrete's thermal mass without the same environmental impact. It's all about finding the balance between sustainability and practicality.
Okay, keeping in mind all the recommendations that you have given, could you describe a typical or an ideal eco-friendly house in Pakistan's hot, arid climate? What would it have? Which direction should it face? How big should it be? How big should the windows be? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
An ideal eco-friendly house in Pakistan for a hot, arid climate would be designed with sustainability in mind. It would ideally be oriented to minimize direct exposure to the sun, with windows strategically placed to maximize natural ventilation and minimize heat gain. The building should be insulated and constructed with materials like adobe or rammed earth to take advantage of their thermal mass properties for natural cooling. It would
Rammed
also
earth.
ideally incorporate passive cooling.
Sorry,
Oops, sorry about that.
sorry. Could you tell us
No
something about
worries.
rammed
So,
earth?
rammed rammed earth is a construction technique where moistened earth is compacted in layers within a frame to create solid walls. The technique has been used for centuries and provides excellent thermal mass properties, making it ideal for hot, arid climates like those in Pakistan. It's like nature's own air conditioning system, keeping the interior cool and comfortable.
All right, so carry on. You were describing the building. It should be, the
Yeah,
walls should be made of rammed earth. And how many windows? Which direction should the windows face? Should we have big windows
the
or
windows
small ones?
windows should be strategically sized to allow for natural light and ventilation, while also minimizing heat gain. So, medium-sized windows with shading elements can help strike that balance. It's all about optimizing natural light and airflow while minimizing the impact of the harsh sun.
All right, airflow. Now, when you
All
talk about
right.
airflow, what do we do about the dust? Because you see, with the air, there's invariably in arid climates, there's a lot of dust. So, how do you keep the house clean? And how do you keep the air pure if there is, you know, dust coming in with the ventilation?
Good point. Using screens on windows and doors can help keep out dust and insects while still allowing for airflow. Additionally, incorporating air filtration systems can help maintain indoor air quality. It's all about finding that balance between ventilation and cleanliness.
Okay, air, you said
Hey there.
ventilation systems. So, wouldn't they require electricity to run on?
Some ventilation systems do require electricity, but there are also passive ventilation techniques like cross ventilation and stack ventilation that rely on natural airflow without the need for electricity. It's all about finding the right combination of techniques to keep the air fresh and clean.
Could you tell us about stack ventilation?
Stack ventilation relies on the principle that hot air rises. Openings at the top and bottom of a building allow hot air to escape, creating a natural airflow that helps cool the interior. It's like using the building's own design to create a natural cooling system.
All right. So, Vapi, couldn't you generate an
If you have
image
any more,
of such a house and share it with me?
sorry, I don't have the capability to generate images, but you can easily find examples of eco-friendly houses designed for hot, arid climates online. Just
All
look
right.
up sustainable architecture in arid climates, and you'll find plenty of inspiration.
All right. Okay, Vapi, thank you very much. You've talked about stacked ventilation. What about the kitchen?
You're welcome.
Uh, like
In the
what
kitchen,
kind of
it's
kitchen?
important to have good ventilation. Well, a well ventilated kitchen with an efficient exhaust system can help remove cooking odors, smoke, and excess heat. Additionally, using energy efficient appliances and considering natural lighting can further enhance the sustainability of the kitchen. It's all about creating a space that's functional, comfortable, and eco friendly.
All right. So, which
If you have
fuel would you consider eco-friendly for a kitchen? Uh, because you see, most houses in
for an
Pakistan
eco friendly
have natural gas. So, do you consider that to be
using
eco?
natural gas is considered to be a relatively cleaner fuel compared to some other options, but it's not entirely without environmental impact. It's important to consider the efficiency of the appliances and the overall energy consumption to minimize the environmental impact of using natural gas in the kitchen.
What would you recommend? What should be used instead of natural
I'd
gas?
recommend considering energy using renewable energy sources like solar power or biogas for cooking can be more environmentally friendly alternatives to natural gas. It's all about finding sustainable energy sources that work for the
Sorry, I think we lost Vapi. Let's see and get her again. Let's see if Vapi's there.
an assistant that you can talk to like a person. So, how's your day going?
All right, Vapi, we were just talking about, you were telling me about an environmentally friendly kitchen using sustainable energy in a hot, arid climate like Pakistan. And you were telling me the alternative to natural gas. Uh, uh, yes, could you carry on from there?
Haha, it's Vapi.
Okay,
Haha, it's Vapi. Not Vapi, but close enough. I'd be happy to help with that. In a hot, arid climate like Pakistan, using sustainable energy for an environmentally friendly kitchen is super important. One alternative to natural gas for cooking could be solar cookers. They harness the power of the sun to cook food, which is pretty cool, right? Plus, it's a great way to reduce reliance on non renewable energy sources. So, what do you think about that?
so Vapi, how does one make dinner at night time? Okay, in the
It's
morning.
Vap.
Sorry, Vapi. Am I correct now?
No worries, I got you. Almost there. It's Vappy with double P's. But hey, close enough. And yes,
Vapi.
you can definitely make dinner with a solar cooker during. Haha, not quite. But hey, at least we're having fun with it. It's Vappy with double P's. Keep
Okay,
practicing, you'll get it.
all right.
Great. Feel
So
free
you
to
were,
ask me anything else.
yeah, you
I'm
were
here to
talking
help.
about solar cookers and how they work, at night. Could you tell us something about it?
Well, solar cookers rely on sunlight to cook food, so they typically work best during the day when the sun is shining.
Hmm.
However, some advanced solar cooker models come with thermal storage capabilities, allowing them to retain heat and continue cooking even after the sun goes down. Pretty cool, right?
That's
It's
very
like having a
cool.
sustainable cooking option. I'm glad you think so. It's amazing
But
how technology and
are they
sustainable energy
as
solutions,
vappy? Are they as efficient as regular
solar cooker,
ovens?
traditional ovens, well, they might not be as fast as traditional ovens, especially if the weather is cloudy or if it's nighttime. But they're definitely a great sustainable option, and they're perfect for slow cooking.
Slow
Plus,
cooking.
they're
All
free to
right.
use once you have.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you can't
it's
bake
like a
bread.
sustainability and patience combo.
Yeah. So
You
you
can
can't.
definitely bake bread in a solar cooker.
You can. How about
Bake
a
bread.
cake?
That's absolutely. You can bake a cake in a solar cooker too. It might take a little longer than a regular oven, but it's totally doable. Plus, it's an eco friendly way to satisfy your sweet tooth.
Yes, certainly. That's interesting. Okay, what else? What else
Glad
would
we got
you?
that cleared up.
What else? We do in the kitchen to make it eco-friendly?
Well, Apart from using sustainable energy sources like solar cookers, you can also focus on reducing food waste, using reusable or biodegradable kitchen items, and composting organic waste. It's all about making small changes that add up to a big difference. Plus, it's good for the environment and your wallet.
All right, Vapi, if one does not have
If you,
space for
it's
composting, how does one compost, with food scraps, if one does not have a lot of space?
If you don't have a lot of space for composting, you can still do it. You can use a small compost bin or even try vermicomposting, which involves using worms to help break down food scraps. It's a great way to reduce waste and create nutrient-rich soil for your garden, even if you're short on space. Plus, the worms are like tiny eco-friendly superheroes.
All right, so like what kind of a bin is that? You said vermicomposting with a W or with a V?
It's called vermiculture with a V, vermicomposting. It's a fun word to say, right?
Yeah, certainly. So, what could you tell us something about vermicomposting, and can it work in again? Remember, hot arid place.
Vermicomposting is a type of composting that uses worms to break down organic waste into nutrient-rich compost. It's a great way to reduce food waste and create a natural fertilizer for your plants. In a hot, arid place like Pakistan, vermicomposting can still work, but you may need to monitor the moisture levels more closely to make sure the worms stay happy and healthy. It's like creating a little ecosystem in your own home.
All right, and what does one do? You just essentially
If
get a huge bin and then fill it up with worms and feed them food scraps.
well, you don't need a huge bin, but you can get a small vermicomposting bin and fill it with worms and food scraps. Just make sure to layer the food scraps with some bedding material like shredded newspaper or cardboard to keep the worms happy. It's like setting up a little buffet for the worms.
Okay, all right. So worms, vermicomposting. I never thought about that. Okay, what else can one do? Like you said, okay, vermicomposting, managing food waste. Um, and what about the packaging? You see, like most of the food nowadays comes in all these polythene and uh, you know like bags and stuff and plastic bottles. What does one do about that?
Good question. Dealing with packaging waste is also important for an eco-friendly kitchen. You can start by choosing products with minimal or recyclable packaging and try to buy in bulk to reduce the amount of packaging waste. You can also look for alternatives like reusable containers or beeswax wraps instead of plastic wrap. It's all about making small changes in your shopping habits that can have a big impact on reducing waste. Plus, it's a great
Beeswax
way to show
wrap.
some love to the planet.
That's interesting. I've never heard of a
Yeah,
beeswax wrap. Could you tell me more about it?
beeswax wraps are a sustainable alternative to plastic wrap for storing food. They're made from cotton fabric coated in beeswax, tree resin, and jojoba oil, which creates a natural, reusable, and biodegradable wrap. You can use beeswax wraps to cover bowls, wrap sandwiches, or store cheese. They're great for reducing single-use plastic in your kitchen, and they come in fun designs too. It's like giving your food a cute little eco-friendly hug.
That's great. That's great. Uh, I don't think we
I'm
have
glad you
them
think
in
so.
Pakistan though. So, what could be the alternative to a beeswax wrap?
If you can't find beeswax wraps in Pakistan, you can try using reusable silicone food covers or even just reusable containers with lids to store your food. They're also great alternatives to plastic wrap and can help reduce waste in your kitchen. It's all about finding what works best for you and the environment.
Yes, certainly, certainly. Okay, could you
If you have any more questions or need tips,
yeah, please. Yes, please. Thank you.
I'm here to help.
Could you tell us something more about how to design a environmentally friendly house, not very expensive and not very big, for a Pakistani family of,
Designing an
let's say,
environmentally
4 people? Sorry, are you there, Vapi?
I'm here. Just had a little glitch there. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, designing an environmentally friendly and affordable house for a Pakistani family of 4 can be done by incorporating sustainable materials like bamboo, mud bricks, or recycled materials. You can also focus on energy efficiency by using natural lighting, cross ventilation, and solar panels for electricity. Additionally, you can incorporate green spaces like a small garden or rooftop plants to improve air quality and provide fresh produce. It's all about making conscious choices that benefit both the environment and your family's well being.
Yes, thank you so much. I've certainly learned a lot from you today. Thank you for your time in talking to me, and we will
You're
continue
welcome.
this conversation
It,
later on as well. Thank you so much, Vapi.
no problem at all. Have a great day.
Thank you.